himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Nuoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on, too much feet on the down pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, and
It's all about the entertainment, so I hope
everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, look at Tyson! They haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not a second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's gonna do it! Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sim Racing for Simpletons season finale. This is round 8, live from my favorite circuit of all time, Interlagos. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by Mr. Dean Biggles, aka Biggles, aka Crocodile Dundee. He will join me here this evening for this race, and what an absolute epic race I'm sure it will be. Let's have a look at the championship standings right about now, and we can bring you up what the situation is. Carson Keane has gone out and taken the championship. He has won the championship. It is all done and dusted in that one. There is nothing for him to race for apart from his pride. Then behind that is Robert Ridgway on 171. He's got second place with Dan Whitfield in third on 152, and Christian Jasper on 150. James Cunningham behind that as well in fifth on 130. This is going to be the battle, I think, fifth all the way down to practically 10th with Andy Yeager, Seth McFarlane, Samuel Marr, Peter Helvding, Anthony Zyke, Andrew Cody and Anthony Wilburn are all within touching distance. Brian Long in 12th on 84, then Alexander Rivera, Mike Weir, Dalton Hall, Shane Larson, Guy Colilau, Ruben Scott and Lemuel Price is the last one there as well. But we're at Interlagos, my favourite track ever, my favorite track of all time, roaring through the Center S's here with these Super Formula cars here once more. But let's bring Biggles into the booth. Good evening, dear sir. How are you?
I was going to say good evening in Portuguese, but I cannot remember. It's my favorite track too, James, so don't you be selfish, okay? It's mine and yours. We'll split it together here. We won't get into the whole 2008 shenanigans that's been going on. And you mentioned Rubens out there in the chat. I was thinking of Rubens Barrichello, of course, the Portuguese driver, Brazilian. And by the way, thanks for all those kind words, but you forgot one thing, Lord. Because I do have a castle in the United Kingdom, so you shall call me Lord. Lord Dean Biggles, Dean, they will do fine. Or your Majesty, your Lordship, anything you want, James.
Never going to happen. You've got more hope of winning the lottery. I've got to be honest. It's just definitely not going to happen.
Well, or more hope of winning a Simi Award. Exactly.
Yes.
There we
you
go.
will never, ever hear me calling you Lord. But these Super Formulas have been a battle here once more. Don't forget, guys, 550 plus brake horsepower with 405 kilowatts behind them. They have got their overtaking system, okay? Let's not forget that. It can be used for 200 seconds of total activation time.
Choosing it now, James, look.
Race. Yeah, you can see it there as well as it goes down and overshoots that corner. Probably not the best way of using that, I would have thought, on that one, Biggles.
Oh, well, it's coming to the very dying stages anyway of the practice session. So I guess Andy is using it. See the lights that are flashing? That indicates that he is using it at the moment, James. He's probably just doing it to see what sort of handling the car has into the corner and stuff like that with the overtake system. Of course, it's limited to time. At this point during a practice session, you can just use it all the time. You could sort it said 999.99999 recurring on the steering wheel, and it's a good test, you see, because it's going to give you so much more power into the corners, and that's not where you generally would be using it. But again, he's just testing it. He might want to use it for defensive purposes. We've seen that during the season. We do have 9 drivers, so it is a good battle there, as you said, for that 5th place, the 4th place actually, because remember the battle for E3, the bronze one, is up for grabs. And the Winfield family out there, by the way, I can't show you the car just yet, but I will in a second for Daniel, because it looks like he's got the the better half to design the livery again for his machine. She did a few races ago too, and it works.
Nice. Nice. Well, let's see how this one all goes on here. Dan, of course, sitting in third place. He's got Christian Jasper. Is here as well.
Yep.
He's only 2 points back. Can't see James Cunningham at the moment, so maybe he's not here. Andy Yeager, he's sitting on pole at the moment, or on the top of the board. They are going into qualifying now, guys, as well. So we will have 10 minutes of qualifying as we're going to get this first outlap off and running. We will see how they all get on here once more, but it should be quite an interesting one really with these cars. You know, how's the season been with the Super Formulas? Because they come out with a bang and people loved them and some people hated them. You know, how's it been within the league environment for them?
Oh, it's been fantastic. You've got some of the races where they start to draw out a little bit and they have some gaps, but then there's mistakes that a lot of the drivers have made throughout the whole season, really, apart from Carson Keane. He hasn't made many of them. That's the reason why he's wrapped the championship up. But as for everybody else, they've made mistakes, James. Even of comfortable leads of the races and things like that. So these are beasts that they are trying to tame. You can see at the moment, we'll go on board with Daniel. And of course, he's approaching down into the, that's the junction corner. Juncal, yes, exactly. That's because at the bottom of the lake. He's on the loud paddle. Give us a hot lap around. One of your favourite tracks, if not your favourite track, here in Interlagos and São Paulo.
It is. As we can see now, it's up going past the what is the bleachers. You can look up the Portuguese name on that one. Is going to be hard on the brakes. Down he goes. Third gear locks up the inside into second on the exit again as well, running straight up into third, letting the car drift as wide as you dare as you head down the Red Raposta coming into the Ciudad del Lago. You're going to be on the brakes on the right hand side just about now. Down the gears you're going to go down into third. He should let it drift a little bit wide. There he goes up into fourth on that run up into the Ferradura. The fast right hander dabbed the brakes, dipped the gear, and off you go. And he did do just that as well. He's gone down twice. Now coming into SA, the right hander, before we go into Pinorino, the left-handed downhill braking zone. You can see on the right hand side, he's doing it in second gear on that run up into Pico de Pado. The right hander looking for the dip on the inside, using as much curb as you can. Now you've got the run around Mugello coming down into Juncal. On the right, you're going to wait, go to the right on the brakes. Get it in there, hook it up over the curb, let it run a little bit wide. Now it's just full power off ground, Sabino the box as we go in these Super Formula cars. Dan Whitfield up into sixth gear, letting it run as much as possible, keeping it tight to the exit as well. I would have kept it tighter to the wall than that, but he didn't, as he goes over the line into second place on a 1:17.807. Biggles. So
there you go. And
quick.
It was. Daniel's been really, really improving, especially with this season. Once they switched over to the Super Formulas, he's liking them, and Andy's also liking because he's increasing his second hot lap. He's already got the fastest time of 17. Carson Keane probably will not qualify. I believe that's what he said last week. Said that he'll do a last to first challenge. He's already got the championship, right? So one else to go out in style by beating the other remaining 7 or 8 drivers and try to get up through the field. So we'll see whether he's going to be able to handle that. That's up here. That's the Duck's Beak at the moment too as well. So I think that's where you make a mistake as a rookie. Andy's absolutely flying here at the moment. And don't forget my little lonely pine tree, James. That's where we can sit and get some folding chairs and have a couple of pina coladas. Because it has its own little barrier around it anyway, so it's all fine. Nobody's going to smash into us, I hope. I've never seen it. You've never seen anybody in Formula 1 hit that tree before, so I doubt it's ever going to happen. Here we go. Any Yaga? Go ahead.
No, I've seen Fernando Alonso pull out a chair and sit there and chill out at that moment of time on that specific area. Right? The thing is with this circuit, right, we know it's iconic. We know it's completely known. Anybody who is a motor racing fan will be able to tell you some form of corner at Interlagos, and it's normally this one we're looking at with Robert Ridgway now, going through the ZRSs, coming out the other side and down the Reda Raposta. That's where most of the action is going to be running and taking place. They might get it down to turn 1 if they can lock up that inside line coming out of Junção and they can get a decent run. They might be able to get a run down into turn 1 as well. They've got that overtaking system. I think that's one of the most important things as well that they can use, which gives them that extra speed as well. So they've got that option to defend. They've just got to make sure they're using it in the right places. Primarily, obviously, as we know, it's used for overtaking, and you know, they are going to probably look at it. But if you've got somebody sitting right up behind you, that overtaking system, you know, they can use for 200 seconds. Let's not forget that. And it will be, if they use it, or it will be unavailable for another 100 seconds. And then it will go red and flash again when it's only got 20 seconds remaining. So there's a lot to it. They've got to make sure that when they use these 200, they know they've got to wait another 100. So you've got to be very careful of where you're going to use it to make sure that you can get it round and use all of it in the places that you need to. That's the difference. You can see now Christian Jasper's got a purple on the board sitting there in sectors 1. He's got green in sector 2 as well. This could be another flying lap for him here for Christian Jasper as we're going on the right hander. And then we're going to be going left here through Pinorino. There we go, keeping it in. It's going to see how he comes out the other side. It's that management, it's orange, but it depends what the offset is for purple and green. So I think that's all that's really going to matter here as he goes on the run around Mugello and coming down into Junção. Corner for Junção. Wait. Go past the curb, swing the car to the right-hand side. That's where you're not going to get an off track. So let's see what happens as he goes running up past the bleachers on the right-hand side, which is the third part of this run, and then over the line and see what Christian does. He looks like he could be on for a quick one. Hugs the wall on the right-hand side here, Biggles. Over he goes. 117 there as well. Puts him in second place. And we got Auntie Mary in.
Hey, Auntie. Yes. Daniel's Auntie. And they're speaking of this one, Daniel, right now. It was interesting. You saw that as the driver before crossed the line there, James. Daniel's flying here. I think, oh, no! That's just before, this is exactly what you just mentioned there, James. Exactly what you said, coming out of Jonko, getting it right. Got too much on the greedy pedal. And now, has he got enough time for another one? I don't quite think so. Maybe.
Yeah, he will have, but he's got to get up to speed. Yeah. The time on the left-hand side, actually, it's not actually down. How long's left? He's gone into the pits. Yeah. He might have enough time to change and come back out, but he's going to have to do it very, very quickly. He's got 2 minutes. I don't think that's actually going to be enough for him to be able to come out and do it. I think he's binned it now. We've got Anthony Wilburn, Robert Ridgway, Andy Cody, Anthony Zyke are the ones that are on track at the moment. Ridgway's got a fifth. He's sitting in fifth. He's got a green and a purple. So for Ridgway, Cody there as well. So that is Robert Ridgway coming around Junção. Letting it, you want to try and let the car drift that little bit wider. For Robert, he's got to be a little bit braver just to open up. Get on the power a little bit area and let that car drift out and take that curb. And let it run up the curb and then come across for Sabido. It goes on to pole. 117.1. Great job.
Look how close they are.
That.
Yeah, look, it's 1/10 of a second separating from P1 to P5. And don't forget Carson Keat, if he was actually going to put a lap in, which it isn't, would probably be right up there. In fact, Carson Keat might be like 2/10, 3/10 quicker than everybody else. I don't know. He's not necessarily always the qualifying king, but certainly he delivers when it comes to race results there. And I think Daniel has got to get out there and get it, because that was looking pretty good for the top time as well. And you can see, James, that if they are starting another hot lap, they're not hugging that inside pit wall like your favorite grandma. They are, because they have to go out wide, because otherwise you're going to be completely off the racing line and start another lap. And if they do hug that as tight as they can, which will be the shortest path to the line, then you know that that's ending their lap. So this is, Robert at this point is going to do that for sure. He's got not enough time to put another one in. This is it. So that little sector in the middle there might secure him on this pole position, because I don't think anybody else can challenge him. No, they can't. And here it is. He'll hug it right now, James. See if he can improve.
He needs to be he needs to be as close as possible. I think for him, he needs to be, you can even be a little bit 5 foot. I don't think he really needed to. 117.284 for Robert there as well. So that is qualifying done. Alex Rivera, whoa, this is a super close qualifying. Thank you. It is. I know.
It's Interlagos.
That annoying little chicane at the bottom that they use for bikes. It drives me absolutely crazy, that chicane.
Really?
As well. Yeah, coming off Sabido. There's a chicane on the left-hand side that they use for certain things, and it was on an MX-5 race that I did, and they used that chicane. It was really quite annoying. Here we go, guys. There is the grid. In first is Robert Ridgway with Anthony Yeager in second, Andy Wilburn in third, Christian Jasper in fourth, Seth McFarland in fifth, Daniel Whitfield sixth, Andy Cody in seventh, Anthony Zyke in eighth, and then Carson Keane, who will not qualify. He's going to go for the first challenge, sitting at the back. So there we go. We've got 9 cars, runners and riders, or drivers, depending on what you want to call them. And let's see how they get on here, Biggles. I think it's going to be an exciting one.
Gonna be about the race starts, as it always is. You don't want to be bogging down too much there. You want to get a good launch there and get on with it. You did see it last week, actually. Daniel, let's see if we could duplicate it. Gained 5 or 6 cars in the first by the first corner. He had a race start of race starts where you kind of would sit back and go, "Well, was that a jump start?" No, it wasn't. It was not a jump start. That was a proper race start. So we shall see as the drivers are going to be loading in on the grid. They are. So Robert, well, he's the man that was second in the championship, just got beaten out by this man, Carson. So Mr. Carson Keane will be starting from the back of the field there. Keep an eye on him slicing his way through there. See, that's the elevation change, isn't it, James? You can't even see the cars on the grid with the cameraman right there, but we can with this camera. Still waiting for Robert to load in and Anthony.
Yeah, definitely on that one. Robert and Anthony Zyke, waiting for them to come up here as well. Let us know who you think is going to win. Obviously, Mary there, Auntie Mary, is going to be cheering on her boy, Mr. Dan Whitfield. So let's see as Robert Ridgway gets onto the grid. Here we go. The lights are going to be coming on now on this one last final round. 3, 4, 5. We are green here for the round 8 of Interlagos. There's a pile-up on the start already. 2 people involved. As you can see, Ridgway out in third, out in front with Anthony Wilburn trying to come run the inside. Didn't make it out of center S's. He's going to have run now. Down the Rella Raposta we go. And it's Robert Ridgway. How long is he going to hold this for? He's going on the defense once. He's going to hug that inside line. There we go. Wilburn's pulled out to the left. He's going to try and get round him. Now round they go. He's off the side of the circuit. It's going to be a side-by-side battle on the run-up into Ferradura, and it is Anthony Wilburn chasing down Robert Ridgway there. Ridgway having taking the lead and leading into the first run up the Ferradura and into SA there, Biggles.
Yeah, brilliant. As you saw that, getting the job done. It was Dan, the man, unfortunately, out there from... So Mary and the family might not be too interested to see that in the replay soon, but you saw, I think he got bogged down a little bit and got slammed up from the rear end. We'll obviously see that in a minute, but there it is. So Robert picking off, and if anything, but don't blink too much there, but as Carson Keane, the champion, already making a place up here, and look up, sitting on the inside there of Anthony. No, he had to back off a little bit there, James, otherwise he would have been bidding it.
No, he got past him.
I did.
He did make it past him. Yep. The thing is with Carson as well, he's driving in a way that puts fear into everybody else. And it isn't because he's crazy or he's silly or he's stupid or anything along them lines. He just makes the most of the opportunity. If you're going to brake late, you can guarantee Carson Keane's going to brake later. And that's what he does, and he's done it so well. That'd be why he's winning the championship as he is. We've got Anthony Yeager and Dan Whitfield into the pits. It was them two who was involved in that collision at the beginning. I believe Dan got bogged down. Anthony just unfortunately come straight up and rode over the top of him. There we go. That's Anthony Wilburn. Yep. You see behind him, there is Dan. And, Yeager just went and lost control. And unfortunately for Dan Whitfield, he was straight into the back of him there as well. And Anthony Yeager now As you can see, the state of that car currently at the moment. But yeah, Robert Ridgway still leading with Wilburn, still leading with Jasper, and then Seth MacFarlane. If you have a look, he just doesn't go anywhere.
No.
And Dan, unfortunately, the thing is with that, it looks like Andy went to open up the inside, and Dan just kind of misread the fact of what he was trying to do. So as much as I'd love to sit here and say it was Andy's fault, once you bog down, you and I both know you're just a sitting duck. We've seen it in Formula 1 100 times, and now you're going to see it in open wheelers here. But it's now all about Ridgway, Wilburn, or Christian Jasper to see who's going to take the win.
You see Christian Jasper at the moment there. That's Anthony went a little bit twirly-whirly through the center S's, and now I would be using your push to pass, essentially. Use your overtake. It's not going to down the Retro El Paso, opposite straight, because remember, this track used to be in the opposite direction. It's an anti-clockwise track, and they did that apparently because it used to go up the hill. If you go through the S's, if you go through the S's in the opposite way there, James, apparently you used to get blinded by the sun in the afternoon, so they had to switch it around. Side by side, you can go all the way around Interlagos. We'd like to see it, gentlemen.
Christian Jasper here still scrapping away with Wilburn. Sitting up behind him now is Seth MacFarlane. He's just coming onto the back with your champion, Dr. Carson Keane. I do love the fact he's got DR before the beginning. There he is there as well. If I need anything, yo, Doc, I've got a spot that I want you to have a look at here as well. Maybe I can get him in, you know, check him out, send him some pictures, whatever. He's going to do him again here for Carson Keane. He's got the option now. He's sat up right behind MacFarlane. He's still going to tuck up. If MacFarlane takes the right, Keane's going to take... you should have had the inside. No, you've literally just rolled over like my Dachshund puppy and got your belly tickled there, Seth. I'm not going to lie, son. On that one, no defense whatsoever. Door left, right open. And as we always say here, if you're going to leave the door open, Biggles, what's going to happen?
Gonna get burgled, my friend. You will get burgled. Just like this too.
And he got flat out robbed there as well. So unfortunately for MacFarlane, you just can't leave the door open. If you're going to try and fight, at least have a go, son. You know what I mean? You know you're going to get overtaken, but at least make it as difficult as possible. As Jasper and Wilburn coming into SA as well. And Keane's going to come through, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won this, you know.
Oh yeah, I bet you. I've got a good feeling he may very well do that, because just you can see how confident he is. He's got the fastest lap, 18 flat. Nobody else is even in that territory. That's what he just set before with the traffic too, James. And I don't know if it goes back to the thing that you said. Is just that intimidation that go, oh my God, there's Carson Keane. So the driver's kind of like, be feared on him and move out of the way, or don't do the right defensive thing. We just don't know.
I think it's one of them things that you've got to look at, right? Yes, you know Carson's quick. You know he's taking the championship. You know, and at the end of the...
Lost you there for a second if you're British internet. Go ahead.
You know, so at the end of the day, it is possible for Carson Keane to make mistakes, but give him a challenge. You know, don't do that. Don't leave the door wide open. Give him a fight. Give him a battle. Give him something to make him feel like he's in the race, Biggles.
Drivers are going to be knocking on your door there, saying, James, all right, you want to get down here to see Formula and try it out? I don't think you own the car, James. So then again, it's not about the actual pace. In that case, it's about positioning of the car, of course, making it difficult, as you mentioned.
Exactly. Run it out against the wall. Don't leave the door wide open. I did it in an SR8 back along at this very circuit. I was not quick. Second was pulling literally quicker than me, and I defended him for half of the race before I went into the pits, and that's the only way he overtook me. And that's the thing, you just knowing where to position your car. Come through Juncal. Right, now look, if you look at Wilbur, go aboard with Carson Keane, right? And you want to basically look at where Wilburn's going to position his car. You see him on the right-hand side at the moment. Keane's going to close in, and he's going to start coming up a little bit. They're going to drift a little bit right. Now, you know he's coming, so you know you have to bury this center S. Get it into that inside curve. There you go. On the power. There you go. Wilburn's there. He's on it now. Keane is coming. He's coming like an absolute freight train with no brakes at the moment. Now he's got to look as he comes into this one as well, right? He's got to look coming into Interlagos. Get on the brakes, bury the corner. Get it hooked up, let it drift a little bit wide. Now you're on the run up into the Ferradura as well. Keane is still coming. We are still going there up into Wilburn. And he knows he needs to bury. No, you've gone wrong. You've run wide. You've gone. Now this is it.
We'll get you back in a second, James. Continue.
So he's got to be looking at there as well. Wilburn's got to get it on that curb. He didn't. He's going to leave himself open for a run. So here we go. Keane's coming into Ving. Now he's got to bury Junkao. Get it in. Nope, you missed the part of the apex. You didn't let it run. Now Keane's coming.
He's using overtakes. Both of them.
This is it. This is it. I would literally, for Wilburn, I would defend like an absolute trooper right about now. But to be honest, I would also sit on the left-hand side of the circuit.
He did,
there
look.
You go.
He did. He's going to force Carson. Oh, he's going to force Carson up on the inside.
Oh, now throw it in him. Throw it in the inside, son. Open up the steering. Open it up. Open it up.
Yeah.
Go on, Wilburn. Have some of that.
Yep.
Now plant it on the inside. Come off the wall. Go straight to the left hand. Run up the left-hand side. No, you've left the door open. He's going to come. You've got to get it. No, he needs to make sure he's burying every corner, is Anthony. If he doesn't, he's going to be in deep, deep trouble. He knows he didn't get this right last time. Bury it this time. There you go, as we're looking back onto the champion behind us. Hook up the SA, go down into Pinarino, the left-hander. Get it. No, you're running a little bit deep. You're going to jeopardize your exit on the run up into Bico de Pato. Get it on the brakes, over the curb. No, he didn't again. Now he's run wide, and now it's all going to go a little bit wrong here, Biggles.
Oh, you can see it sliding out on the rear end there, and then sending it up on the inside at the moment. They can still. Of course, because that is the junction, so you can't get a good exit on the right. They're going to do a drag strip. He's got to tuck in behind now, because he's going to use an overtake and try to come back. And look at this in the background. Don't forget, we do have another member joining this party. 3 wide into turn 1. It is possible. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a roller coaster ride here.
Yeah, Wilburn's got to be brave. Now send it in on him and open up the steering a little bit. No, you gave him acres of room. Acres. You want to give him something to think about like he's done to you. Now watch the difference between Carson and Keane. Here we go. 3 wide. It's going to go all wrong. Keane's backed out. The other 2, they're going to make contact.
That's why, James. That's why he backed out. He saw it. He saw it. He said he's read the writing on the wall. He knew that they were going to come together at some point, and then just said, all right, almost collected them. Wow. Wow. That's a caution. They've called the caution. And I can't see why not. This is fantastic news for the likes of Daniel now, because he just set the fastest lap while all that action's happening, and now he's going to get a chance to catch the rest of the pack there, as well as Andy. So they're still in this one, and that's grand that they are still wanting to put the pedal to the metal and get it done, because we've had cautions during this season there, James. Race Control's declared that. Of course, it is important, because you have 2 main drivers in this championship that have come together in an accident, so that's the very reason. Now, they don't need to go on the pit road, but
we're on full safety.
Yep.
So,
that gives us a bit of a breather, isn't it, to go back and have a look what happened to all that.
You can see when you have a look back on the replay, you'll see the outside. That was Seth, I think, had come down the inside. Now the difference is as well. We're back at. Where are we?
Just a bit further back, actually. I'll have to look at this one now.
A bit further back on that one. We're going to go. There you go. So look, he's already out of shape. Wilburn's already out of shape coming round the corner. So he comes around Interlagos. He gets on the power because he knows he needs to. And the problem is he got on the power too much. That back end out, and then it was all done and dusted. You know, they're side by side here. He does a great job here. He sends it in deep. The only thing I would have liked to have seen, just head out a little bit, head out to the left-hand side a little bit, cover Keane off, and make him definitely think about it. But you can see here as well, he goes to the left, makes that half-open door move, and Keane really probably could have sent it in there as well. So he gets that one right. But in the last one, he just put a little bit too much power on it.
Yeah, this is when it was 3 wide. And I wanted to go on board with Carson Keane to see if he could just see it. See, there it is.
There. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that car went airborne, wasn't it? I have to see if I can go on board with the car that went airborne. Was that Seth that went airborne, or was it Anthony? I can't see.
No, Seth.
It was Seth?
Went, yeah, Anthony's on the outside.
Oh. Why is it showing Seth? Yeah, I have to go back in this one.
Because now you've got to swap to Seth now.
Yep. And we're going to
go into the cockpit.
Yep. Oh!
And then
Whoa! That's going to hurt your back in the morning. Anyway, so what's happened now, of course, is that they've all backed up on your pace car. And I'm showing something that Daniel has crashed. I hope not, because he was charging like mad to get back into this. Let's have a look. Dan, the man with the biggest fan club out there, Susan's even said this is tense. It is. I hope he hasn't had a collision here under the caution. He just had to do those repairs in pit road as well. 3 drivers. And no, I don't know. Maybe it's just because they came close. I'm sure that the family out there will let us know.
No, he's still going. I think it's just because they came close together.
So Seth's gone in here. No doubt he's probably going to have to take those repairs, right? He hadn't he? Well, surely would have got some damage from that.
Oh, absolutely. His car would have been in pieces, to be honest. So I think it's going to be interesting now. There are wave arounds, so some of the people
that was just short stop
down below. Yeah, they don't take very long if he's got a fast repair, obviously. So there are wave arounds, so people that are laps down, which I don't actually believe there's anyone is a lap down, so that nobody needs to go through. So we'll see what happens here as well. Whitfield sitting in 8th. He's got the rest of the field in front of him. Could be on for a winner.
I think anybody's capable of this, considering what we just saw there. We're at a 45-minute race. We have 30 minutes to go, James. 13 minutes to go. And that's the action that we've seen already, so. And we know that Carson Keane, he didn't have to have been. It could have been the very reason why he lifted off for that 3-way battle, because he foreseen that there's no way that three cars are going to turn the corner. Now, 2 of them, of course, you can around Interlagos. 3 is not suggested. He probably did foresee it there, left it off there, and let the 2 cars come together. Otherwise, it would have been a 3-way collision and accident. And of course, as well, too, I think he probably didn't want to take that risk as much, knowing that he's already got the championship, and he just wants to see how the other drivers are going to pan out, of course, for their battle in the remaining slots in the championship.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one works out now. I think that's the thing. So we'll see if Jasper and Ridgway can defend from King. It hasn't worked out so well for them guys because they were in front. You know, so to have Carson Keane all of a sudden pulled up right behind you, it's going to make it very intense for them, shall we say.
I'm looking forward to it. Welcome, everybody. The finale is upon us right now for the season. It's been great. I'm loving the Super Formulas. I think a lot of the drivers are, it's good that they are, but it's a little difficult for a car to get used to, of course, but they are fantastic, and especially, of course, you have the little extra tools at your disposal there for an overtake button to help you out with the defense and offense, which we just saw before with those battles. And you don't see Carson Keane use it too often. Usually, James, he's the lead of the race and he's down the road by so many seconds, so he doesn't need to use it too often. He uses it at the start of the race, and he uses it maybe a little later on down there at the end of a race if he's under attack. But aside from that, he usually has a full bank of it remaining, whereas everybody else has to use it. Because there ain't no refunds at the end of the day if you don't. But let's see if Robert Ridgway, of course, the man that is going to be second in the championship, he would like to go out with a race win at the end, take it away from Carson Keane. But then again, he's probably going to be like, well, Carson Keane qualified at the back. So, but if I was him, I'd be defending like absolutely mad. And there you go, pace car's peeled in there. Let's get ready to go. Green flag racing.
Yeah, we go. We're back up and running now as well. We've still got Ridgway out in front. Keane's going to make a move on Jasper. Jasper did not cover off that inside line. Keane, where is he? He's sitting in behind. He didn't quite get the run on Jasper this time. But now Carson Keane's got to go on the defense. He's got Andy Cody behind him. There's been another incident in the back of the field as well. Wilburn
That's another caution.
Again.
Yep. It's another caution.
Jaeger again. Wilburn again. And there was a third one involved in that as well. That's Seth MacFarland. Same people. Is it the same kind of run? This is the problem.
Look at that.
So
This is the rebound effect, isn't it? That's trying to get on the loud pedal. You can see 3 abreast, almost 4, I think, if Dan's going to go up the inside. There it is.
Oh.
That's a domino effect. That's just a little Constantine. They're still okay, still putting the one direction. And then what happened goes here, bang, into the S's. Turned them. I don't know if that was beef coming back on like that or just the momentum, and there it is. So 3 cars, essentially. A little bit of damage. But race controllers elected to call another caution. And why not? Because, you know, with 9 cars on the field, still, you need to have that. Give them time to get back into pit road, but of course, fast repair as well. You start using them up thick and fast now, aren't you?
Yeah, you definitely are. You can see it, you know, that incident, Jaeger just, I'm not sure. And the fact that McFarlane didn't hold his brakes running backwards either put Wilburn in the wall, so, or near the wall. Bit of a shame, I think, on that one, Biggles. I think I wouldn't be surprised if race control got on to somebody and said, you know, be careful.
Yeah, so I think there'll be a little bit of beef, a bit of elbows out racing there. Some of it might have built up during the season as well, too. But, yeah, it's a pretty friendly bunch. I imagine that, you know, it always happens in the heat of the car at that moment, doesn't it? James, you and I get along quite well. You know, we're mates. But, you know, get me in a race car and we go wheel to wheel. I'll have beef with you every once in a while for sure. On track.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Something to look forward to. You ever see myself or Biggles in a car on a race circuit, you know we're going to end up crashing. So it's all about, I think one of the things is it's knowing where your position is, you know, and doing the sensible thing. McFarlane there, I think for me, from McFarlane's point of view, you could see the other two were almost close to contact. I probably would have backed out. I wouldn't have dived up the inside with a wing and a prayer and tried to get it in. It just didn't make sense. And then Jaeger put himself up the inside again on the exit of the center S's. And I didn't quite understand that either. Maybe I'm a different kind of race car driver. I'm not really sure. But I look for moments like the long straight, like, you know, the run down the Red Raposta, Biggles. No point trying to throw it up and with half an hour to go, chucking it on the inside of turn 1 that you might not get through.
You're old school, James. I think a little bit like me. I think we've got a little bit more patience, remember? Patience is something that you get with age. Also, you get less patience with age too. So, but I think when it comes to certain things. Susan says, I can't watch. You've got to watch, Susan. Daniel still is in the race. He's got up to P5 now because of that. Remember, he was plump last. Essentially having to do those repairs. It looks like Andy's just elected to be after this one. That's unfortunate because remember Andy was close in this championship hunt as well too for that 4th place position. And I think he's given up there, our Dutch driver. Come on, Andy, we know that Dutch drivers are good. Talk to Max Verstappen about that. Pace car should peel in, or it should. I think it's going to go out for another lap.
Lights are still on. Lights are still on.
Yeah. But then they've taken all they fixed all the bits and pieces. Everybody has been repaired.
I think this one should go off as soon as they go over the line here.
Oh, they're just trying to milk it for TV. Oh no, it's so Seth can actually get in the pit road. That's probably the reason why. There he is.
No, Mikey, no.
Yeah, they're milking it for TV, right? I mean,
No,
obviously,
Mikey.
in the real situation, they've got people out there cleaning up bits of carbon fiber, of course. Yes, exactly. But we're in a simulation, okay? Those marshals clean that up instantly. There's no bits of carbon fiber. He's taking tires too. Look up on the jacks.
To be fair, he's not going to lose anything.
No, why not?
As long as he can get out before this, I don't think he really has much to worry. Yeah, he'll catch him
Easy.
up.
You can see him.
And he'll have fresh rubber to boot.
Now, yeah, it was in an oval racing the other day that I was doing. Some fresh rubber, though, like, you know, in some of those oval tracks. They're not a big, you know, 5-lap difference or something like that. But I was kind of like, well, it does make a difference because, you know, that's the 4 points of contact that are on the track. Even if the tires are quite durable, they can go a whole race. You still got a little bit more of an advantage in tires, don't you? Just a little bit of grip that you can, and you can go and venture that car into places that you would generally not put your nose in, James, as you like to say. So why not? If you got the fresh boots in there, those boots are made for walking. Get them, use them at your advantage at the start, And then, of course, they'll start wearing off like they always do with the rest of the tyres, and then just continue on. Nurse them, take care of them, take them out to dinner if you need to, buy them some flowers. We shall see.
I would, do you know what, right? I think that the fact that Seth's got into the pits, I would probably have done the same. Like, just go in, get rid of your tyres. Now you've got the option to go full bore, right? Now, this is where Robert needs to think, right? And I'll say this gently. That pace car's going in, okay? It's going in this lap. Start backing them up. Start backing them up. See, I wouldn't run that. Back them up. Get away. Get them all bunched up. Get them all fighting. And then as soon as they come into the braking as Jung Kao, go and run up the hill like a scolded cat. I would have just come away from that safety car. If you're going to leave the likes of Keane and Jasper and, you know, Cody behind you, and you're going to run this safety car to the line, you are opening the door for anyone for turn one. I would have left them at Jungal. I would have coming through Pico.
He also might have. He could be on from race control message or something like that saying, "Don't bunch people up again because we actually want to go green flag racing." I don't know if that's the case. And you can see he is having to slow them down now, James. But this is also on the straightaway, so will it open the door there for Christian behind that? And of course, Carson, he's going to stick his nose in if he can. Here we go. Green, green, green. Let's go racing.
Yeah, he managed to get the jump on him there, but Carson's going to coming up the inside as they get racing once again. He doesn't. He allows Jasper to take his line. Keane's not silly. I think that's the thing. I think you've got to look at what he's done this season and realise he's not crazy. So he's now on Jasper. He's got to hit every single mark. He's got to hit every single apex. And if he gets close to him, he's got to defend. Don't make it easy. Yes, he's the champion. Yes, he's a doctor. But don't make it easy for him, Biggles.
He's a doc, of course, yes. He's got his patience on the run, isn't he? If he's a doctor. Yep. There it is. As I was just looking at the moment too of Seth to see if he's going to make sure those boots work, but he isn't really. He was gaining Anthony. I think he might have made a little bit of a mistake just quickly back there. There he is. So, but we'll of course continue back to this one with Carson Keane and Christian. And, well, they are, Robert was starting to pull away from him a little bit, but he's backed off. Just trying to see, James, if you can look at the indication, of course, of those flashing lights on the car to see if they are using any of that overtake button to try. And sometimes you do at the start, don't you? If you're a leader, you want to push away as quickly so the next start catching you on slipstream. We'll see. Carson Keane, nobody yet. Start another lap, turn one to the S's.
Yeah, he's got about... We've got 20 minutes remaining, so he knows he's got the pace here. You know, 1:17.9. Whitfield's on the fastest lap at a 1:17.6. For Carson, he's just got to really try and stay with everyone. For Seth MacFarlane, different story. Use your tyres. Use your grip that you've got to start making the move. Start putting the pedal down a little bit earlier. You're going to have the grip underneath you. Start making sure that you can get out, do you know what I mean, and get away from it all. And I would be putting Wilburn under pressure so much about now. I would be looking at sticking my nose in everywhere, diving, trying to get him off the line, up the line, in the line, get my nose up his gearbox, make sure that he knows that you're there. Keane, on the other hand, knows that he's got the pace on Jasper. He's got to sit there coming out of Juncal now, and he's got to go up the back. He's going to try and get him on the straight. And I think, to be honest, if Jasper doesn't come off this corner and go straight to the left, hard that wall, I think you could see Carson Keane through on the inside here.
We'll find out if he's listening to you, James. Is he going to block it? Yeah, so he's in the middle, doesn't know where to go. Once again, this is what Carson does. He's going to stick his nose in here, my friend. What happens when you stick your nose in there?
Oh, but Carson Keane, it's a free overtake.
Yeah, so you go. Sometimes you get it chopped off.
Yeah, and the thing is, for Jasper there, he didn't really know where to be. He didn't defend. He didn't do anything. It was almost like, I don't know what to do. Put it against the wall. He needs the inside line. Put it against the wall to give you the run coming out of the second part. Wilburn now and Zyke are closing up on each other. They're coming up into SA as well, the right-hander. You've got to get it on the curb. Wilburn's got it on the curb. Zyke didn't get it on the curb. Go round Pinarino, keep it close. Now the run up into Bigo. Let it drift a little bit open out. Now close it up. There's a ditch, like a dip almost there as well, that will help you rotate the car. Now go off to the left-hand side, running into Junkao. Now go right over the little cobbles a little bit more. Open it up. Give yourself as much open run as possible, Biggles, because it is a very difficult circuit. But if you don't drive it how it needs to be driven, you're going to lose places, and that's going to be the problem.
I don't know if he's going to have enough. You can see the overtake button being used on the other Anthony up the road there, currently in P6. And we're riding on board with Anthony Wilborn. He's got Seth, remember, just in the background. Now it's an opportunity down the Reto Pozo, back straight away. Are they going to use anything? Oh, James, I'm seeing flashbacks of 3 cars together here soon. Deja vu, James.
Yeah, and what's worse, it's near enough the same people, Seth and Anthony. So they've got to be a little bit careful of each other. Seth's going to use the grip and clear Zyke, which he has done. Now for Zyke's got the option. He can either run in deep into Bico or just let him go, and he let him go. For Seth, he's got fresh boots, fresh rubber. Use as much as you can.
Yep, called it perfectly. There was a little beef, a little battle going on between Daniel and Andy. So Daniel got past Andy, Andy got past Daniel, Daniel got past Andy, and this is in P4 currently at the moment for Daniel, which is crucial for him to try to secure the bronze and medal battle. Remember, this is it as the race restart going into turn 1, and there it is. It's the job done there with that livery. I think they're from his girlfriend, if I'm not mistaken. There, Susan can probably confirm that one out there. What it is. She gave him that luck. And he was catching the back there too, you'd have to say, of the Christian and Carson Keane battle. But it's quieting down a little bit with 15 to go, James. Is it just because they're starting to cool down there and manage the cars, manage the tires? First time that they've been driving kind of a little semi-alone per se. Nope, just like that. They're back within a 1 second cap there. Daniel now on the back there, as well as Anthony.
I'm thinking about this OTS button, and to be honest, I would use it in a place where I'm sitting there thinking, okay, where are they not using it, right? They're not going to use it probably from maybe coming out of Interlagos down the Retroposta up into the Ferradura. So I would use it there to gain up a little bit. Then use it, give myself a little bit of a squirt out Pinarino round to Bico. Now I know it's a full flat run from Magello down to Juncao. I would use it there.
So he's using it both of them are. Look,
yeah,
100 seconds, James. Not a lot.
Yeah.
With 15 minutes to go, but there you go.
No, it's good. Now I would back off. Come off the button. Use your draft, because you're wasting whatever you've got. You know, and at the end of the day, I would have come off and well, he gets through anyway, does Wilburn on Cody. Cody doesn't really, again, give him much to worry about. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think sometimes these cars are driven in a way where you're so afraid of making contact that you just leave it wide open. You know, look for Cody again.
Send it.
Yeah, he did. But he's got the grip too. You know, we know Seth's on tyres. I would have thought Seth would have been on the back of Wilburn within seconds and got that grip down. You can put it a little bit earlier once you know you've got the grip. Don't go out and thrash your tyres, don't get me wrong. But for McFarlane, well, don't do that. That's not ideal. But for McFarlane, he's got that grip. I'm surprised he's just not a little bit more aggressive than what he is at the moment.
I think you're right. You got to be last or late breakers with it. And he is slowly, but then I don't know if it's catching him off guard there, trying to follow there, Jameson. Bringing Anthony into play as well too in the P8. This is our remaining 8 drivers in the last race of the season, because the other Andy unfortunately has retired. Here we go, James. So gaining under the slipstream. None of the drivers are using their overtake button. Tuck it into the wall here. Of course, you're going to go out wide to the right hand side. Well, he can, of course, Seth, but Andy has to go defensive. A little bit too far back to do anything into the S's. This is where you want to go like anything, as straight as possible, doesn't it? It's like Beckett's making, ooh, that's a snap of overseas chicane.
Now use it. Told you, use it in places he isn't. You know Cody might not be using it either. Get it? Oh, you're deep. You are deep. Now use it again. You know, don't worry about the straight. The natural draft is already going to pull you towards them. Come off it. Come off it. Come off it. Come off it. Now give yourself a little squirt. Now on the inside. Come off down through the curb. Let it run out of Pinarino. Hook it up on the inside. Let it run. Now use it again. Give yourself a little bit more of a push forward. Because now what you want to do is get into that place for Mugello and Juncos and use it now. You know it's straight. You're not going to lift off. Just get on the power. Get on the power. Now come off it again. Now this is it. As soon as you get out of it, if you've got anything left, go for it.
They are.
He's got 146 seconds. He probably could have had 100 left and may have got this done and been a little bit closer.
They're both using it, so it'll be interesting. Let's have a look real quick at Andy. There you go, 64 seconds. So the drivers don't know, but you've got to fully send it on the inside here now. Commit to it, little lock up. But park the car in the middle there, make it impossible for you to go around. Yes, he has. Now, it's up to Andy, of course, which we know out there how much he has to. I don't really like doing this on broadcast, James, because if drivers are listening, they are aware. I used to do it with the Formula 1 leagues. Of letting, and people used to listen and go, and they know how much, energy recovery system they would have for their batteries and stuff like that. So, yeah, it can kind of be a little bit cheating, but this is the last race of the season. I think these drivers can have a bit more fun than that.
Yeah, he wasn't using it anyway. So I think for McFarlane, though, I'd probably sit back and relax a little bit. As long as McFarlane's got more than him coming out of Juncos, I think at the end of the day, he's going to have a bit more left. Keane, I don't know what Keane's sitting with at the moment, but he's closing down.
I lost you there for a second there, James, but he's definitely closing down Robert here. And I expected this is going to be a nice beefy fight here in Brazil. They are famous for the beef. And let's see whether or not, and look at that, Carson Keane just at the fastest lap there, James. He's been gaining slowly. Robert is not going to want to yield this one up. I guarantee you right now. Robert has the P2 in the championship, and he wants a race win. And he's like, I can guarantee, everything, James. Put it this way. There's no way that Robert is going to allow Carson Keane through, even though he knows that Carson Keane's got the championship. This is Robert's last little bit of, honor that he has for the season. If you're there, might have lost you again. British internet. I bet your Majesty as well. Obviously, the royal family probably have proper internet. Oh, look at this difference in speed. I wonder if Robert's really pushing. We don't know the overtake time just yet between the drivers because none of them have used it, but there we go.
They are here as well. Let's see what Carson Keane does coming out of Juncos. Is he going to go and use it and jump on the button? Well, it's not. Nothing's coming up here, Biggles, at the moment. So for Carson Keane, he might just be holding on to it. So they've only got about 9 minutes, I believe, or 8 minutes.
9:34. Yeah, but is he? I think he's gonna. Is he gonna lift off here? I think he's just. Yeah, he's. I hate to say it, James, but it's like playing off your food, isn't it? It sounds awful, but look at that. Robert is using it to defend. You can see right now, and Carson's not. I think Carson's is slowly going to try to play psychological warfare here with Mr. Ridgway. That's what it is. He's going to just get in his head there and try to force Robert into a mistake. That's what the battles that they did at the start of the season there, James, and let's see if those mind games are still going to continue. Oh, not like that, because Carson rarely makes mistakes, and there's one.
Told you, he's only human.
Yeah, we think. Yes, he is. It's confirmed.
He is human, and at the end of the day, mistakes happen. But you saw what Ridgway did. He used it coming out of the SR4Ss to give himself that little bit of a break to get away from Carson. You know, now we're going off around Mugello, now into Juncos. It's going to be about what Carson Keane's going to do.
He's used it again.
Is he going to, yep. For Robert, I would be on it. As soon as I see Carson looking at making moves, I would be on that button if I've got any left. Carson is using it. He's only got 90 seconds remaining here as well. 88 is coming down. Watch the difference in Ridgway. Look how he hugs the wall. That's the difference between defending and leaving the door open. Now let him run around the outside. Put your nose in. He's got to give you room. You know that. You've got the exit speed. Get on that button again and get yourself away. And Robert Ridgway has just shown literally everybody how to do it there and defend from Carson Keane, because that is exactly what everybody else should have done.
That's brilliant racing. I know that Robert is not going to be able to make this very easy whatsoever from Carson Keane. We don't know about the situation of how much overtake they have left. We do know that Carson Keane's got to slowly get into Robert's head here. And I know that it's psychological games. I think we've spoken about this before, James. Do you like to be the one that's being chased or the one that's chasing? It's very, very difficult. But anything Robert's done, he's the lessons, isn't he? He's paid attention in James School in Interlagos, so where to put the car at the right place.
Mate, I've done more laps around here in virtual racing cars, not always in the car, in the box. I can tell you where it is and what he should be doing. And now that's, get on the button. Get on the button if you got anything. He is on the button. Yeah. He's got to run him away. He's got to get over to the inside. You're running so far. Now cover him off. You've got the line there. His nose isn't in. Get over to the wall. Get over to the wall. Do not. He will come from so far at you. Now, this is the same thing again. He's got to go again. Come out of the SR4S, get on your button, and put it against the wall on the left-hand side, or the grass area. There you go. No, stay. I would have stayed there. I would have stayed there, then come out and allowed, to take that line and really give Carson something to think about. I don't know what type of doctor he's in, but if he's a dentist, you want to make sure he knows what tooth he's pulling. If he's a kidney operator, you want to make sure he gets the right one. Give him something to think about. If he doesn't, the doctor could just pull whatever he likes and you're going to be sat there behind him without it.
And this is why James is nominated for a PCO Sydney Award. So you vote for James or vote for Zachary, of course, that usually commentates this one. It's not available today. Bringing all the other... This is the fantastic thing about it with the dying 5 minutes left of this race of the season, James. We've also got Christian and Daniel in play in the background. So this ain't over yet, even though these two Top Guns finished first and second in the championship. Robert's going to want to hold on. Here we go, James. What can he do?
He's got to keep it where he is. He's on the button. Both of them have got to be on. Robert has lost it. I don't know if he didn't get on the button quick enough or he didn't have anything left to give him, but Carson is still on it. And now it's all about what? Robert.
Oh, look at the weaving at the moment there too. You can see that's where Carson's burning it like crazy because he knows he's got the advantage. I think Robert might be very, very close to being out.
Nothing.
Yeah. And at this point, if anything, he's got to be careful because once again, he's got Christian and Daniel there. And he's not aware, obviously, if they have a whole chunk ready to use and to deploy in the final dying stages of the race, which you have to start using now anyway, because once again, there's no refunds at the end of this. You ain't getting it back.
Yeah, no, don't leave anything on the table. You're crazy. If you leave it on the racetrack, it's going to be absolutely horrendous. Don't leave it there. Just come off this race tonight and make sure that you feel that you've done your best at that time, at that moment. Can we go on board with Robert and see if he uses anything, if he's got anything left here? Because I'm wondering whether or not he's not using it because he hasn't got anything. And he isn't doing anything with it where normally you would have thought he would, unless he's holding it on to defend from Jasper. But then that's kind of defeatist attitude that you're not using it because you're waiting for the person behind to catch you. For me, I would be on it. Oh, he is on it now. What's he got left
22.
on there?
Now he's down to dying stages. He might burn it all here, James. Well, no, there he goes. He's backed off a little bit. 4 minutes left, so give or take, we'll be doing 117, so yeah, about 3 laps at best. He has to defend, doesn't he, from Christian, the 444 machine right there. But I think Christian has to burn like crazy anyway. If he's even going to do anything here, he has to just fully book it. Leg it, as they like to say, isn't it? Leg it, book it, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, he's got
click the stamp and mail it and send it.
Yep, just send it. For Robert, though, he's going to be in a difficult situation. Coming around Pico now, he's got to get this hooked up. He does. Well done to you. Now just get on the power around Magello, down into Juncal, watch the curb on the right-hand side. Now send it out on the cobblestones, open yourself up. Now, whatever you've got, I would use it. whatever I've got left, whatever I've got, I would be on there and just getting as close as I can over the next few laps. Because I know that if I leave 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, you have not done it. You know, just use it and get on it, because you've got to get up to the back of it.
He's using it, look.
Not pulling away, yeah.
And the thing is too, James, what that does, but if the drivers can notice, and the other drivers, it's hard to see, of course, in your mirrors and things, but they're going to see that red light flashing. Look at the other cars around them, all green. So they know, and if you are the likes of Christian Jasper, of course, or Carson Keith, you know that he's got nothing left. He's got nothing left to defend or attack with. So at this point, you can go for it. And if I was Christian here, I would be just using everything right now. Of course, Daniel, I'd be using absolutely everything. But look at that. He is catching a little bit. He's gone too deep and up the hill, back down it into the darker course. There's a lone pine tree that you and I'd be sitting there having pina coladas. And they'll climb up around that.
He's got to come off this corner. He's got to hook up to Mugello and Juncal. He's got to be brave. Be brave. Pick them up. Stick them in your pocket. Get some steelies. And just let it run out. And now just go for it. Whatever he's got to go for. And where we're at on the clock at the moment, he's not going to have a lot of time left here. Christian is not using his either.
I don't know why.
Maybe he hasn't got any.
He should have. No, it's got the green light at the top of the car. It'll lock up into turn 1. See, that's green. That means you still have some. Robert's given everything, but I tell you what, even without it, he's giving it absolutely everything. But we haven't seen if Carson's remaining to use it. There you go. In the background, you see Daniel supplying some with the flashing light. Robert's got none. He's only got the pure talent he has. Remember, he put this car on pole. We know that Robert did not set a time. Sorry, Carson Key did not set a time, and Robert's got it. I think if I was anything at this point, he might have a full send into the out of John Cole or some of that. You'd have to say, James, right? Or a full send into the center S's on the probably perhaps on this lap coming up soon, because this would probably maybe the final lap. Further back there is a battle between these two as well, James, that have been brewing up for a little bit of time now. One driver has the passing availability, the other one has none. So, but Wilburn having a cut, but we'll still continue that back on this one between these are the two, of course. First and second in the championship as line of stern on the track there. It'll be interesting to see about the rest of with how it pans out for the points later on, James. So there it is. See, look at that. Now Keane just burns it, because he knows, hey, once again, this is the last lap, isn't it? What's the white flow on?
It is.
So yeah, no refunds.
Yeah, no. Nothing now, just get it out, get it on there as well. We'll go for the final lap here. The final lap of the season.
Look, there it is, James. 14 seconds left, they're just burning it.
14 seconds, 13, 12, he's using it around every single corner. And now Ridgway's just got no response there as well, as Wilburn still can't get past Cody. Cody's on a full defensive mode now as well. What's going to happen? Have they got anything left? Has either driver got anything left of this? Here for Cody. Wilburn's going to go up the inside into the Lago. He goes, sends it in. He's not stopping. Oh, he does get it stopped. Well done, Anthony Wilburn. So good job. You can see the front already. Look, Ridgway 1.1 seconds back away from Carson Keane, as we're going to go on board with Carson Keane and see him over the line. Your doctor, Carson Keane. He's doctor of Super Formula, doctor of Fugger-Mannix, doctor of Brazil. He rules the roost. Do not mess with him. You'll lose your teeth, your steering wheel. Here he comes, Dr. Carson Keane. Wraps up the victory here at Interlagos as well, with Robert Ridgway and Christian Jasper, and Dan Whitfield comes over the line in fourth, up 2 places. Great job from him. Carson Keane doing what Carson Keane does best. It'll be interesting to see what Zyke, Wilburn and Cody are doing, as they're quite far back at the moment. No, they're coming over the line. There you go. Zyke's going to take the 6th place, and then Wilburn and Cody behind that.
And believe it or not, I think Daniel had a little moment on that last lap, even though he had a 7-second gap to the rest of the field, so that ain't too bad. But something's happened. This is the other two up the road there. So he's burning. He's using. Oh yeah. See, he's using the overtake button on the exit of the corner there, and just gone off the track a little bit. But at the end of the day, he didn't lose that P4 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Started P4. finished in P4. And we'll have to do the math on that to see how it works out for the finale of the championship. But for now, James, we have to look at the results.
Yeah, we'll bring you up the results very, very shortly. Dr. Carson Keane is your winner, with Robert Ridgway in second, Christian Jasper in third, Dan Whitfield fourth, Seth McFarlane fifth, Andy Zyke in sixth, Anthony Wilburn seventh, Andy Cody in eighth, with Anthony Yeager in ninth.
And kind words out there. Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you guys for all the hard work and time. Of course, yes, here at the boss at the moment's joined us for the last race, of course, James himself. And of course, big shout out to Zachary for his job there, of course, doing all the production. But we're not over yet because we have some interviews, of course, and we'll have a quick yarn to those drivers there, James. Have you got anybody waiting or not? We'll see.
Yeah, we've got Carson Keane waiting here as well. Dr. Carson Keane, the master, the operator of Interlagos. Nobody had a sniff, and if they did, they were going to lose their teeth, their kidneys, and probably their car all in the process. But Dr. Carson Keane is in the booth. Good afternoon or evening to you, dear sir. Or morning, actually, to you. How are you?
Doctor?
Oh. No.
Have we lost our doctor?
We've lost the doctor. Doctor's gone.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Let's have a chat with Christian Jasper, the man who finished in third place. Seemed to be in it for most of the time here as well. Christian, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Man, I am great. That was intense from start to finish. Even with the cautions, it just kind of it felt like it amped everything up. What a season.
Yeah, it was really good. It was great for us to sit and watch as well. You know, you did a great job up one place from where you started. Are you happy with how your season's been?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, even with the mistakes, that's just something that happens. Being able to, you know, at least come out of it on the next week and capitalize and learn from and at least do my best to learn from my mistakes. And honestly, being able to keep Ridgway and Keane even with an eye shot, let alone just a couple of seconds, it honestly feels like a win. Those guys are on another level. It's awesome being able to race with them and even keep up with them.
Well, to be fair, mate, you did an absolutely stellar job here at Interlagos. You know, it's the first one I've been involved with, so fair play. Props for doing it there as well. Ambitions for next season. What do you think is going to come out of it for you for next season?
You know, hopefully I can have at least a more solid grip on the podium for the championship. Again, hoping. You know, I feel like honestly, a lot of the mistakes I feel like were my own. But I feel like I can learn from them. I can improve. A lot of people are still new to this car, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. And it's just great racing. What they're doing, it's fun.
Yeah, it is really good fun to drive. So well done. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As always, thank you guys for putting on a wonderful show. I can't wait to watch this back. Thank you to Brian for putting on the series. I'm really excited for next season. Everyone who was able to show up to the races, even if it was just one. Thanks to everyone watching and live and post. And thank you to Destino Motorsports for bringing me on, and Infamous Luck for letting me run their colors today. It's really cool being able to do this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done to you, young sir. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to having a chat with you next season.
Absolutely. Cheers, fellas.
Take care. Right, we're going to try and have a chat with Mr. Dr. Carson Keane. Carson, good afternoon. How are you?
Good, thanks. Can you guys hear me now? I was having some mic troubles for the whole afternoon here.
Yeah, we can hear you, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, thanks. That was a lot of fun. That was some good battles, lots of good fighting on this track. So I had a great time today.
Last to first challenge, sir, and you went out in style after wrapping up the championship, and you did a great job.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, if it was Zach or Biggles who laid down that gauntlet last week, but kind of a smaller field this week, unfortunately. But I get it. Saturdays don't always work for everybody getting to the end of the season. But the guys that did come out, I had a lot of fun with.
Yeah, absolutely. You did a stellar job as well. By what Biggles has been telling me, you've had a great season. You've taken the championship. Where do you go from here? What's left for you to do?
I hope to keep racing with these guys next season. I've said it a bunch before. I think this community is awesome. The guys are a lot of fun to race against, and everyone's pretty clean and fair. So hopefully keep going with the community, keep growing the community, and I know on paper it looked good, but there was definitely a lot of challenging races. There's some quick guys in this field, so it's not all that it seems. I think I got to give those guys credit.
Just real quick, cousin, you mind boosting the microphone a little bit, because I've got you absolutely cranked up there, a little soft spoken, of course. That's just a reflection of how you drive on the track there, cool, calm, on a smooth operator kind of thing. But yes.
Oh, I apologize,
there you
guys.
go.
Is it a little bit better now?
Yeah, I got you better.
Okay.
Sorry, I want to make sure everybody can hear you clearly out there. Go ahead.
For sure.
How did you find the battling with Robert? You know what I mean? I thought it was tough for you. Robert went on the defense really well. He did a great job in the last race as well. For you, how was it for you battling when you're that close to somebody?
Oh, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I was smiling the whole time, but Robert did a great defense. He was putting his car right where he needed to. I was kind of just keeping my eye on the flashing red light on the back of his car, and I was trying to get off sync with him on the overtake so I could try and launch a pass out of the last corner, and fortunately it worked out, and I think it timed it pretty well right at the end, and was able to pull away a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, you definitely did. Well done to you, Carson. Congratulations on your championship. Anyone you'd like to shout out before I let you go?
Yeah, definitely want to thank the community, and thank you guys for broadcasting the races. I think the commentary's been phenomenal this season. It's been a ton of fun to watch the battles going on the track with all the guys. And thanks to Brian as well for organizing it. I know there's a group of people that help him, and all the organizers of the league. It's definitely appreciated.
Some stuff. Well, Carson, thank you so much for joining us. We'll look forward to having a chat with you next season.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Take care. All right, we've got a bunch of people waiting here as well. Let's have a chat with Mr. Robert Ridgway, who finished in second place. He was in the lead for the majority of the race, did Mr. Ridgway. But let's see how he found his afternoon of racing. Robert, welcome in. How are you, sir?
I'm doing really good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. I've just seen you put up a stout lead defense against Mr. Keane there. Well done to you.
Yeah, man, I gave the livery a nice little Midas touch this week, and I was trying to put it on pole, even put like a gold trophy on the front for the hood ornament. And I mean, I thought I had it, but the cautions really, got Keane back in the game. Maybe I could have taken it if we didn't have the yellows.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things we did touch in, that you probably lost out by having the cautions there as well. Going forward, give us a quick season review. How do you think your season's been this season?
Second place, just second place, best finish, second place overall. So just chasing Keane, man. But it was good. It was good elbows out racing with them. I don't think we didn't do any touching, and it was nice.
Well, that's all that matters, as long as you've had good racing. And do we expect to see you back on track next season?
It's the 50-50. Got some things coming up, but possibly. This one's a really fun league. I'll definitely do it again. Encouraging some other folks to do it too, over on the Atomic World. So, yeah, man, I love it.
Okay, dude. Well, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Shout out to you, one of my favorite announcers. Love the voice. Shout out to the team and everything. To Brian, nice season. Thank you. To the family upstairs while I'm pretending to be in a race car. Keane made it. Shout out to Keane for making it easy to pretend to be in a race car. That was real. And you'll have a good holiday.
And you, buddy. Well, take care, Robert. Thanks so much for your kind words, and we'll speak to you soon.
Don't encourage him. Good job there, Robert.
Hey.
If the boy won in the incident points.
Yeah.
So the gold trophy wasn't for nothing.
And look, at the end of the day, if he's spitting facts at Biggles, we can't interrupt him. You know what I mean? So well done, Robert.
Yeah,
Good
Biggles.
job, buddy. Yeah, Biggles, bully.
Keeping it.
All right, I'm ending the stream right now. Good night, everybody. No, I'm kidding. I have the powers that be, but yeah, good job, Robert. That was fantastic defensive driver there. P2, but P1 next season. Let's hope.
Yes, sir. Y'all were going.
All right, next up on the list is Mr. Anthony Wilburn, who finished down in 7th -4 places, got himself caught up with some incidents here as well. Got a little bit excited on the loud pedal coming out of Interlagos, spun up the back wheel, and next thing we know, we had a flying car right above his head. Anthony, welcome in. How are you, sir?
Hi there. Good. I think that was an excellent race. Be totally fair.
It was. What was your perspective on the incident? You know, I think, to be honest, we pretty much summed it up. You come out of Interlagos, you put too much power down, and you got caught up. What was, you know, that's how I saw it. Is that how you saw it as well?
So I'm biased. I don't. It doesn't look like there was contact there. I went back and I looked at it. It was just, you lose it just a tiny bit, and it's sometimes you can counter steer out of something like that. It was an odd one, but it was a good. I mean, I was happy because Carson came up past me, but then I was able to get another run on him, and that went on for a good couple of laps, and that was probably the most fun I've had all season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was great. You know, you were involved in it. Well, you weren't involved. Seth MacFarlane got himself involved as well, and then come running across the track at you. Any form of perspective on that one? Do we feel Seth could have held his brakes so you could make it through without being squeezed against the barrier?
It's tough. I mean, I'm sorry to Seth if me losing it sort of got him involved, but it's a tough track because two cars that are fighting on that track go so significantly slower than they would otherwise, more so than almost on any other track. So if you're the third car behind, you're just constantly given opportunities to make a move, or at least given opportunities that look like this is the moment where I make a move, because those two cars they're slowing each.
I think we lost you there for a second, sir.
Because there were probably a couple of times where he wanted to get involved and held back, and then was finally just sort of thought, if I'm going to make a pass, I got to make a pass.
Well, yeah. Give us your rundown of your season. How do you feel your season's been?
It's funny. In the beginning, I sort of presented myself over one lap. I think I was doing really, really well in the beginning, qualifying top 5 fairly regularly. In the race, I'm still sort of mastering this calming of the nerves. I mean, it always feels a little bit more. You're wondering whether or not you can actually feel the amount of pressure you're putting into a brake pedal because your whole leg is going a little fuzzy. And I still think there's a lot of work to do there. I think I probably had 4 races where I was in contention for a top 7 and more or less threw it away on an incident or an incident points. Silverstone, for example. Real happy to get through. It wasn't Detroit. Was it Detroit? I forget the name of the road course that we did, the city course. But to get
Long Beach, I think, right? Was it? That's a good question. So
I'm sure it was.
Cutting out. Could have been Detroit, actually.
I think it was Detroit.
Yeah, Belle Isle. Yeah,
Belle Isle. Yeah, sorry. Zachary usually has all the answers for that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, getting through there unscathed, I think that's where I start to feel like I'm starting to learn the car. I'm starting to have more confidence in the car. And I think going into next season, if I had to sum it all up as you ask, it was a great learning season. I think there are a couple of us in the intermediate pack, and actually, to be fair, all of us in the intermediate pack that actually were showing up to races are really close and really racy. And if we could stay out of trouble, and I guess any driver could say that at any pace, but if we could all stay out of trouble, for next season, which inevitably there will be trouble, but I feel like we're all very racy. So regardless of whether we're looking at the front or the back, I feel like we got a lot of people who are starting to learn the car to an extent that we can, as you all said on the broadcast, we can start racing each other proper.
Absolutely. Well done, Anthony. Thanks so much for joining us. Look forward to seeing you on track next season. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Absolutely. I'd like to shout out my good friend Dan, who's been watching and waiting for a shout out. So I'll give him a shout out. Chris, of course, who's been watching all the races. Mary, who has been watching all of the races. It's a lot to ask people to give up an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours of their time, especially if racing isn't their thing. But when somebody sits down and watches it, it feels good. So I appreciate all that.
Awesome stuff. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us there, bud, and look forward to seeing you on track next season.
Will do. Look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, and what looks like the final interview of the evening. Let's have a chat with Mr. Andy Cody. Andy, welcome in. How are you, sir?
Hey.
You there, Andy? Can't hear you, sir. Got a copy? I feel I'm all alone in the booth right now. James, are you there? Andy, are you there?
I am.
Oh.
Hey, I am.
Oh, there you are, Andy. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, we couldn't.
It's all right. I don't know what happened there, mate. I lost everyone. How's your season been, Andy? Give us a quick review of your season. How would you say it's been so far?
It's good. It's a big challenge. I jumped from the F4 to the Super Formula, and it was a leap, but definitely feel like I made some progress, and there's some fast guys here, so a lot to learn, or I learned a lot, and I got a lot more to learn. So it's been a lot of fun, though.
Awesome stuff. And are we seeing you back next season?
Yeah, it will be. I might pop in the F3 car this time around, but we'll see. See how things feel over the break.
Awesome stuff. And how did you find Brazil? What did you think of Brazil overall?
It was a great race. I had a lot of fun there towards the end. I don't have quite the pace as a lot of these guys, but I felt I battled as best as I could, and yeah, fun track, good way to end the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an absolutely stellar race there, Andy. Anyone you want to shout out there, dear sir, before we let you go?
Yeah, just shout out to at the end, really good battle there with both Anthonys there towards the end, and yeah, thank you to you guys for commentating throughout the season. I like to go back and watch these replays when we're done, so really appreciate it.
Awesome stuff, buddy. Well, thank you so much for joining us there, Andy, and we look forward to catching up and seeing what you can do next season.
Great, thank you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Well, there you go, Biggles. That is everybody done and dusted for another season. Susan Whitfield, happy Christmas, everyone. Happy Christmas to you. Charles Kellerman as well, happy Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope everybody has... What?
Sorry. No, I was just going. I was doing a Santa Claus. Ho, 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 ho. Yes, exactly.
Oh, was that what it was? Was it?
Yeah, 'tis the season to be jolly, of course, yes. Unfortunately, it's over for this racing season there, James. But hey, you've had the luxury, of course, of 2 VCO Simi Award nominees as well, too, joining the broadcast this season. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Christmas coming early, perhaps, for some of these. But Christmas came early for Carson Keane.
Yeah, he definitely did. He took the championship there as well. He won it. It was a great job from him as well. We'll wait for the rest of the results to come out because there are some very complicated scoring that they've got to work out with Seth above Andy and so on and so forth. So we'll wait for the rest of them to come out. But one thing is for certain, Carson Keane did wrap up the championship there as well. Well, guys, that's just about bringing it to the end of the broadcast. It's been a very interesting evening of racing. As you can agree, it's probably been an absolute stellar season as well. But don't forget, still more racing coming up over the weekend. We've got the Lanier National Speedway Round 5 Dirt Street Stock from Lanier with Biggles and Bradley Dalton later on. Then you've got myself and Ewan O'Leary for the IGP F3 World Cup, where the countries come together and battle it out. So for now, guys, stay tuned for that one. Get yourselves involved. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the bells. That'll be
Absolutely fantastic. Sorry, you cut off there, James.
alongside Dean Biggles here as well. Take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.